Greetings. I'm the Elusive Housewife. Disease keep me at home and limit my ability to create art. That is why I document my performance of everyday life. This is an artist talk on a special day. Today is 8th of August, 8/8 of 2024, which sums up as 8 also, so 8/8/8. And I started my live stream at 22:22, which is also 8. So 4/8 special number. And I would like to use this chance to announce new direction. I decided to experiment with a new format. I was inspired by CapCut, which features different formats of video where you can infiltrate your own content. So you can copy paste your own content in this CapCut frame. And I chose a frame featuring a New York City billboard. And I put my own video of my project inside, and I realized, wow, this is an exhibition. So today at 9:05, I had my first solo exhibition in New York City, somewhere, probably Times Square, I have no idea, but it is documented in this CapCut edit, and I have the video, and I've uploaded on my YouTube and my TikTok and my Instagram. And this kicks off a new project, which is featuring me online, doing these online exhibitions, taking over the online space through my actions. And why I'm doing this, I think it's interesting because, like, what is the difference? Like, how can what is the difference? How can you prove when something happened or not? Or, like, what is the difference between art and social media? Like, what is the cutting edge? Like, where's the fence? I don't know. I'm not picking my words right, but, like, where's the edge of, like, what's art and when it becomes content creation? And I would like to experiment with this in a new project featuring solo exhibitions everywhere in the world with my work. And I will put this on my CV as actual solo exhibitions because I've been exhibiting since 2009, and it's mainly group exhibitions. My first solo exhibition was at Centraal Museum, I believe it's 210. I'm not sure. I didn't check, Leslie, but my first exhibition was in Centraal Museum at 1 Hour Art. And I was exhibiting for 1 hour, and I had no idea I would have a solo exhibition like that. I just came because it was a fun, open-minded concept. You could just come to Centraal Museum in Utrecht, where I was living, to have an exhibition for an hour. And the first hour, there were a lot of people. And I did a performance of The Red Woman, which is now becoming Red Women Are Coming, which is a bigger project, also about social media, media in general, like classical media, social media, everything. And for the first hour, I did this performance. For the whole hour, I changed my clothes, and I had a box with me featuring some garments that I made for a collection about terrorism. And it's an interesting story about that box. Actually, I was participating, or I wanted to participate in Oxford Fashion Week, and I was picked. I could send my stuff, and I sent my stuff to the Oxford Fashion Week, and it wasn't used, and it was there in a box, sitting in a box in some office. And I thought, well, that's quite interesting. A collection garments inspired by terrorism sitting in a box, like a ticking bomb, somewhere in an office. And it was sent back to me, and I presented this collection at Centraal Museum at 1 Hour Art as a performance, which was my first solo exhibition. And that wasn't my idea, that was the idea of Jos Houweling, who was during the show. And when I stayed for the second hour, everybody left. I was alone with people that came to assist me. So we were there, and I exhibited another project, my exam collection. I studied fashion design. My exam collection, which was never finished, and I exhibited it under black cloth because it wasn't finished and it was sort of dead, and it was only alive when I was working on it. So I exhibited a ghost, and I got a certificate for exhibiting that hour, a certificate of exhibiting, a certificate of authenticity. And I exhibited for the second hour, and Jos Houweling said, "Hey, you're alone, so this is a solo exhibition." So I put it on my CV as a solo exhibition. And my second solo exhibition was at an office in Utrecht, also, I believe that same year. There was a space in front of the office. There was kind of two windows with a space between of about 50 centimeters or something, maybe a bit bigger, but it was a space of two windows in front of the office, which was a graphic designer office. And in that space, I held an exhibition about my exam collection, which was inspired by my culture, which is a blurring of Ukrainian and Russian folklore and the digital world. And I focused on this ungraspable culture that was fading into noise, like the TV noise that when a broken TV, like that kind of noise. That is the culture I grew up in, because I was born in Soviet Union, and I grew up in Ukraine in the perestroika and the crisis, and then I immigrated to the Netherlands. And yeah, so it's a mishmash of all these cultures, not quite cultures, not a bit of everything, but not quite anything at all. And after the start of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict in 22, I call myself Dutch for the convenience, because I couldn't handle the conflict, and I actually had a psychosis, an acute psychosis as a result. And and it impacted my life because I'm living with schizophrenia ever since, and it's now impacted me that I became the elusive housewife because I have schizophrenia, I have OCD since I was 10, obsessive compulsive hoarding. I've had a bunch of, like, 2 life-threatening pregnancy complications, preeclampsia and cerebral venous sinus thrombosis after 2 pregnancies. And eventually I was diagnosed with blood cancer. And I've had this blood cancer probably since my first pregnancy, where I had a stillborn child. And all these diseases, it was like build up of the level of level of complexity burdening my life, and all these diseases build up to the point when I became a mother and a housewife, quite unplanned. It's just happened to me, and I was so desperate. That I didn't see any future, any positivity in my life. I was negative, and I was completely overwhelmed. And I'm an artist, and it was crippling me. I couldn't make any art, and then I decided in 2021 that I will do this project, the Elusive Housewife. And why it's the Elusive Housewife? Because at that point I was quite captivated by the kitchen window. It was actually giving me paranoid thoughts, like schizophrenic paranoid thoughts, because we didn't have any curtains, and all the time I thought somebody was watching me. And this window was the only way to see me in my house, because we have a house that is constructed in such a way that there are no windows in the front and in the back. The back window watches out at a yard. So the only window that watches over the outside world is the kitchen window. And it became quite symbolic for this project. So this kitchen window was the only way, kitchen window without curtains, was the only way to see me in my house. So it was quite elusive to catch me doing my household chores. And so I came up with this project in 2021. And that is why I'm wearing gray and yellow, because these were the Pantone colors of 2021. But I started the project in 2022 in January 3rd, I believe. I documented my whole day, and that was the start of the Elusive Housewife. And the whole day documentation, it's available on YouTube. I made a day in my life movie with all the videos that I created during that day, uncensored. And I present it as an artwork, as a performance. And actually, I want to do a solo exhibition in the metaverse featuring all this documentation of that day, featuring them on big screens and playing them simultaneously to kind of give the feeling of overwhelm that I was experiencing as a newfound housewife and mother, which is coming soon, hopefully this year, this year or next year. I will be working on it. I will start work on it soon. So this is, and this is going to be the first like big exhibition However, today, unexpectedly, I had my first solo exhibition of the Elusive Housewife in New York through this CapCut app, through a filter, like I said, a frame. It was a filter, through a filter that enabled me to present my work in New York. And now I have documentation of my work in New York. And my work is actually rooted in art documentation, as I am a performance artist. So my work is my documentation. The only way people get to see my work is usually my documentation, because I don't often perform in front of a public, unlike the performance artists of the past. In the emergence of performance art, the public was actually very important. Performance art emerged from happening, from public getting together and some artists doing some act, which was planned but not rehearsed. So it's not like theater. You don't rehearse, you don't have a script. You just plan to do an action and you do it, and it's live, and that is it. And so, opposed to working with the public, live audience, I document my performances through photo and video. And actually, I've grown into document everything with my phone, which is not random. I used to, when I was a student, I used to document fashion shows for a website called 360 Fashion. And there was a report in the news made about the owner, the founder of this 360 Fashion, Amina. And she was championing technology, so championing phones, which were not equipped yet to do kind of live stream and office work and all kind of things that we do take for granted now that we do with our phones, with our smartphones. She kind of envisioned that a phone can become your studio. So the news feature also said that when you have no office, your phone becomes your office. And I thought, wow, that's a catchy phrase, and that fascinated me. And now I'm using that phrase, saying when you have no studio, your smartphone becomes your studio. And I've made it my own. And I'm a performance artist documenting my art through photo and video on my phone. And ideally, I would include also NFTs. So this whole process is on my phone completely. So documentation of my everyday life on my phone transformed into NFTs through my phone. And that would be the ideal kind of equation that I see for my art. I would reach ideal situation when I can, I guess, make a living as an artist through this process, which I don't know if will ever be reached, but it is a dream. It is a concept. So in a sense, I could say I'm even a conceptual artist in this sense. Never thought to call myself a conceptual artist, but I consider myself a performance artist, first of all, even though I studied fashion. But where is this going? So today, I've quite intuitively had my first solo exhibition in New York through the CapCut app, and publication on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, just as documentation. This happened. My art, The Elusive Housewife, was in New York, cleaning New York. And it's kind of happened over the course of a few days. I just came back from a holiday in Venice. I went there for a performance, and I realized there that I didn't need permission to perform in public space or whatever. Didn't need anybody's permission. I could just do my work and document, and yeah, I'm free. And I was sharing all that documentation from Venice on social media, and the phrase "meantime in Venice" kind of grew on me, grew on my socials, and I've started to post different variations of names and funny videos and trying different things out, like "meantime in Venice." And today, through the CapCut app, I realized, oh, so now I'm cleaning New York, because I put my video of me cleaning Venice, it's a performance. It's called maintenance work, maintenance art. It's not my invention. Maintenance art was invented by Yelena Myshko, who was the first artist to do cleaning as an art project in a museum, cleaning maintenance as an art project. And actually, the kind of performance I make, I call this performalist photography, performalist self-portrait. Performalist self-portrait was actually invented or proposed by Hanna Wilke, which is another artist, and Miele Laderman, Ukelis, and Hanna Wilke come from the same period, and they made the work in the 70s, when performance was born, and was in its early stages. And Hanna Wilke, she proposed performance self-portraits, and this is what I'm building on, what I've chosen, and it came to me through a book where I just read the phrase performance self-portrait, and I was like, what is that? That is a fascinating word. That's fascinating. What is that? And then I couldn't find who it belonged to, and then I googled it, and it was Hanna Wilke, and then the whole world of Hanna Wilke opened up to me, and she became famous quite tragically for documenting her battle with cancer. She died. Eventually, she died, and she and her partner documented her life with cancer, and after her death, these works became quite iconic. And also, she connects to me through disease, because I suffer a lot from disease. Like I've said, I have schizophrenia, OCD, I have blood cancer, which is actually essential thrombosis, which is a form of blood cancer. And she also had cancer. But my form of cancer is treated as a chronic illness, and hopefully I will live to make my work a little longer. I can make it to an old age. I will see what happens. I don't know. But hopefully the prognosis is good. So, and I also learned to live with my schizophrenia. So, but all these diseases were crippling me. That's why I started the Elusive Housewife, and that's what I'm talking about here. So this new direction will be occupying space wherever I want to show in the world, so public space with billboards, or maybe even just a building or something I can project my work onto, and documenting that projection took place and exhibiting that on social media as an exhibition and putting that on my CV as solo exhibitions. Because, as I said, as I mentioned, I had only two solo exhibitions. One was at 1 hour art, the second hour, and the other in a graphic design office. And then for many, many years, I didn't have any solo exhibitions, and I probably will never have them unless I start taking action and I start to putting myself out there, organizing my own solo exhibitions in the metaverse, in any real space that is available to me. I'm going to exhibit my older work, the liminal body. I want to exhibit it at a facility for Ukrainian refugees. And I'm going to do this. Like, I wanted to do it this week, but I'm putting it things off. And then this idea was born, and this is also an idea for solo exhibitions, but maybe fictional solo exhibitions. But yeah, what is fiction and what is reality if you have documentation, and I have documentation of my work being featured on billboards in New York that I made with CapCut. But yeah, I have that documentation, and my art is my documentation. So that is my art. So that is the big announcement for today, the new direction of this project. And I've told you a little bit, give you a little bit of context about this project, where it comes from, and yeah, I've also mentioned the Red Woman and Red Woman Are Coming and the Liminal Body. These are my other projects, and that are related to this project. Also, of course, all the work is related, and I will talk about it in the future. I've decided to use YouTube as an artist. I was kind of looking for what to do on YouTube, and for many, many years, I've used YouTube as a sort of archive for my art videos. And I've been watching other creators, other artists, getting a lot of followers and attention, but for videos about how to make money as an artist, how to get followers as an artist. And it's not about art at all. And I'm interested in what can you do as an artist with media, with social media. Everybody's using it as an influencer, as a content creator. But what if you use it as an art medium? What can you do then? And that is something I want to task myself with, to research how it can be used as a form of art instead of content creation. And maybe it's interesting to think about where's the edge, like what's the edge between what's the yeah I'm really struggling for words, but what I'm trying to say is, like, what is content and what is art? Where's, like, the edge where it overlaps probably, but how much can you get away with still being art? And what would social media be like if you really use it as an artistic medium? And I actually started doing that in the beginning of my artistic practice, and I think it was Yeah, the beginning of my artistic practice, I'd say it's 2016. After I had acute psychosis, I was doing a second year in master fashion strategy, and I announced that I'm going to be an artist. I want to be an artist, and I started working on it. And I began with a challenge. Like, I had no studio, and I had no portfolio, I had no work, no way of working, and all I was doing so far was some performances, random performances and random events that I was doing to heal myself, because I was quite traumatized by my fashion education. And those were always live performances, but I didn't have like my own way of work. And in 2016, when I announced at Artes at my master's that I want to be an artist, I started with this challenge on Instagram. I would make one artwork a day, and I was posting it on Instagram. So Instagram became kind of the filter, or the framework for the art that I was making. Um, so I was making art for Instagram, and on Instagram you don't get so much time, so it needed to be catchy. It needed to do something very quickly, and that is how my art developed. My performalist art developed for Instagram. So in a sense, I was already doing this. I was already experimenting with social media as an art medium, as a guidelines for the art that I create. And I want to continue developing this. And what I didn't mention is that I also used to be a feminine activist, which is a topless feminist protest group. I became the leader of Femin Netherlands, and I have some videos of it on my YouTube. Some I archived everything, and for a while now, I was thinking, how can I use this experience in Femin with conventional media, so like newspapers, TV, magazines, and I was published a lot as an activist, as a feminine activist, and how can I use this as an art medium? I'm still thinking of how to do this, but I just probably should just start doing things, and I'm thinking about using stock photography, so proposing my art as stock photography to have it spread and used, and also maybe my art will also transform if I start to make it as stock photography. I don't know. That's one idea, to propose my art as stock photography. The other idea is to send press releases to national and international media for random household tasks, as Elusive Housewife, of course. Because like when I was doing Femin, the first thing I learned is that you need to have a press release, and I learned to write press releases intuitively. That's how I got media in the first place, and so that was my idea, to use as an artistic strategy the press release, and I just need to start doing it, I guess. And today is a special day, like I said, 888, and in my case, four more eights, because I started the 2222. I started this live stream, which was symbolic. It's the power hour of this power portal of manifestation, and I decided to just do it, and do this live stream as the Elusive Housewife. At this point, I'm doing it for myself, but hopefully you can watch this later. And it is, yeah, it is really a milestone. It is a historic moment for the Elusive Housewife to announce this new direction of taking my life in my own hands, to taking directing my life myself, and taking ownership of what's going to happen on my CV as an artist. And I'm going to work on solo exhibitions from now on, because why not? I think if I don't start having solo shows that I create myself, who will do it for me? You have to start somewhere, and I need to start building that CV and getting myself out there, and showing my stuff. So I'm planning to show my stuff everywhere, so wherever. Where so far I was progressing my career wherever they have me, um, and maybe from now on I will also, or maybe change the arts a bit, switch it up a bit to exhibit wherever I want to. And I also started doing this with Stedelijk. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with Stedelijk Amsterdam. And so far, I've also intuitively, I've been there 2 times quite randomly, for openings of exhibitions of Nan Goldin first day, and first day on Marina Abramovic. And I was doing an intervention each time. And at Nan Goldin, I was menstruating, so the only thing I could take into a museum, I couldn't even take a tripod with me, and I had a menstrual pad with me. I was menstruating, and I had my phone. So I went in the museum like that, and I thought, like, let's improvise. And I switched my menstrual pad in the toilet with a ad like "Become friend of the museum," and that was my only proof that I was at the toilet at Stedelijk Museum, exhibiting, having a solo exhibition, a performance of changing my menstrual pad. And the goal of that was actually to smuggle women's problems into the museum, because I believe that they, in their persuasion of inclusivity, they focus only on famous female artists who already achieved fame, and who are not necessarily working with women's problems, because everybody wants artists to be more abstract, and female artists to be more abstract, and leave women's problems out. Like, you can do anything in our post-feminist era. You can do anything related to feminism besides proclaiming yourself a feminist and uniting with are not a feminist. You can have all the feminist gains, which is a tricky thing about post-feminist era. And which, having mentioned this, I have a term for what I wanted to this artist movements based on feminist strategy, on using media as an artistic medium. I had a word for it, a term, post-feminist media actionism, which I want to work on. I will work on, but I don't know now if what I'm planning to do with these solo exhibitions with CapCut's filters, if it's post-feminist media actionism. I believe it depends on me what I do with it. It can be post-feminist media actionism if I use it like that. But only time will tell what it will be. Maybe it will be called something else. But yeah, it's an experiment of using media, social media, conventional media, and trying to use all media in as an artistic medium. How can you make art with it? That's the question, and only time will tell what I would achieve. So uh, let us finish this live stream, first live stream of the Elusive Housewife. I will be doing this more often, and hopefully other people will join in and ask me questions. I will answer to my ability. Um, Thank you for watching this. Thank you for watching this. And if you enjoy my ideas, I'd say subscribe. Let's keep in touch. I'm online on social media. I have a website, and I'm on YouTube. And hopefully, see you next time. Bye bye.